Here's the fuel line for the PT Cruiser. It's that OEM one. I had to get it from a Mopar parts dealer, and it's got these quick disconnects. That's when I did the head gasket, that's what I broke. So gotta replace it real quick so I don't leak fuel everywhere anymore. Because as a temporary fix, I put this line on that runs here, and it just leaks because there's no like way to clamp it down enough for the line to hold. So I got the new line on. It just clips on, super easy. Took like 5 minutes, and now I won't have to deal with it reeking of fuel anymore. If I can find the key. I don't know what my plans are for this thing. I'm looking to get a new daily within the next couple days. So if anyone has some suggestions of what I should do to this, just go ahead and comment. I'm down for whatever on this thing. Alright, so here's the Geo. The goal for this thing initially is to get the motor situated in there. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to cut a lot of this front end out and make room for the motor. It's the B18 in a CRV trans, so it barely fits with the stock rails there. This frame gets in the way, so what I was thinking is chopping it here and just using tube up front, so it'll come out here and widen this area, and I can make my own mounts. And I've got this metal, but I don't have a tube bender yet, so as soon as I find one, I'll get one, and then I can start working on this thing. Alright, I also got this clutch in. It's a competition stage 5 for the Wagon. Comes with a cool sticker. It's just this, the disc, 4-puck. So he's got the throwout bearing and the pressure plate, which should hold the power instead of my shitty eBay one. Alright, I'm heading over to the shop right now. I've got my clutch. It's time to put it in. It'll be a lot easier using a lift. So I'm going to start by taking the wheels off so I can get the axles out and then the drive shaft. So let's get started. To get the axles out, I just need to take this ball joint and separate it, and the bottom of that fork down there. That'll give enough room for the axle to slide out after I get this nut off. So the easy way to do that is to take a big ass hammer and just smack it right there. And it'll separate. There's that. just gotta pry it from the transmission. Alright. So it's popped loose. Just kinda gotta wiggle it loose. And I can just leave it hanging there or take it out. So gotta do the other side, and then onto the drive shaft. So the drive shaft's off. While I'm down here, I'm gonna get these bottom tranny bolts, and then I can drop it down and get this cable and the wiring and the mount bolts. It's pretty filthy underneath here. So surprisingly, even after driving it, this Hydro Dip job with just regular spray paint hasn't burnt off yet. I can't imagine it's gonna last that long though. But anyway, I'm gonna get this out of the way and this out of the way so I can reach the starter and these shift links, and then that clutch cable right there. And I'll take that mount out in that back one, and it should drop down low enough to slide out. I got everything pretty much disconnected. This back mount's the only thing holding it on. So it's loose enough. Gotta raise it up and take out that last bolt that's holding it on and slide it out. So I'm actually not going to drop the transmission all the way. I can just pull out this pressure plate from here. It'll be a little faster, but I am going to clean that up a bit because it is filthy. Alright, all the pressure plate bolts are out. So here's the old one. It is pretty toasted. It's not as bad as I thought. It was still able to hold until it got super hot, and then that's when it would start to slip. So this one's not terrible condition, but it's definitely done for. I mean, it's almost to these metal wear pads. And this one is the eBay, I believe it's XTD brand. It's I thought I had it on my hood, but it definitely is worth the $100. This is considered a stage 5. It's the one I've had since I built the wagon, so I've never had to replace the clutch until now. I mean, it has been slipping for a little bit, but I mean, for the price, it's probably worth it, because I've had it for about a year, and it definitely held the power for a while. But it's time to get a legitimate one and see how this one works. The new one's on. Now it's just on to buttoning everything back up. This is the easy part. Alright, everything's just about buttoned up except for the wheels. And hopefully it doesn't need an adjustment. I put about a 1/4 inch of play in that clutch cable, so let's find out. backwards. Oh. So it moves. It's a lot stiffer than the other one, than the eBay one. And it seems to have less engagement, so definitely a big difference in the engagement. And I also forgot to hook up my tack, but oh well. Got the clutch in, and that's probably good enough for now. I think I might have a fuel leak. It went from full to empty in a matter of a few seconds. So I hope I make it home. I think this Jeep wants to race though. I have absolutely no fuel.